now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hill. Solomon Hill comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Ellis. And Freak subbed in for Hill. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Setting the floor for the Warriors. Barnes and Green are the forward set. Livingston is out there with Barbosa. And it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Livingston kicks to Spates. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston.
You know, he almost pulled the trigger on that possession, but recognized that there was a better option. That's what we need by playing for your teammates.
When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken part fourth back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And that one's good. Freak.
They've worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter.
And if they match that effort at the defensive end, watch out.
And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though. And I remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about it. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words.
Freak dishes to Stuckey. Passes to Freak from 11 feet away. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Pacers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
Not a strong suit for this group, just around 71%.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year, but just a tad worse, so not too bad.
You know, you talk about Green's enthusiasm for the game. He's constantly talking, whether defensively or even in an opponent's ear. He's a vocal presence. And also another example of how a guy can make an impact without necessarily having it show up in the stat sheet. They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
And also, don't discount his leadership. Draymond Green's been a vocal leader his entire career. Even as a rookie, he wasn't afraid to challenge his teammates. And that competitive spirit, guys, can be contagious.
You know, fellas, once he got into position under the boards, I mean, he wasn't letting anybody get around him.
And he gets it to go. And that's now 9 points for Freak.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number one for them right now. Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky.
And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Lavoy Allen's checked in for Mahinmi. Solomon Hill comes in for Jordan Hill. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Monte Ellis. And Freak subbed in for George Hill. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Draymond Green comes in for Andre Iguodala. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Barnes and Green are the forward set. Barbosa is out there with Livingston. And it's Spates in at the center, filling out the middle. Indiana's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
Stuckey against Barbosa. 5 to shoot. The 15-footer. No luck. And Golden State will come the other way. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
Hill kicks to George. They set the pick. It's Freak, top of the key. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And how about Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon? I mean, he was a high school phenom in Ames, Iowa, and a lottery pick back in 2012 after 2 seasons at Carolina. Remember also in high school, he was a teammate of Dougie McBucket.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for George.
Shooting lots more threes here in the second.
And given their percentages, I'm not sure that's a good idea. They've struggled to connect from the perimeter.
Barbosa passes to Green. Hits the jumper in space. Green's got the lead up to 6 now for the Warriors. Harrison Barnes, of course, went to North Carolina, grew up as a huge fan of former Tar Heel Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you know, interesting, his mother started taping Jordan's games on the VCR years before he was born. His given name, Harrison Bryson Jordan Barnes. How about that for a factoid?
I didn't know that.
Nor did I. Boy, that's his second foul, and he does not want to pick up number 3 here. That'll mess your game up for sure.
And Barbosa drops them both.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Great open look there. And it's 13 points for Freak.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Here's Spates. Connects on the 17-footer. Spates has got the lead, back up to 8 now for the Warriors.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Some changes for Indiana. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Allen. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. And Freak subbed in for George Hill. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. Hill is out there with Hill. And it's Freak in at the 1. That's the Pacers' foul. And here comes Livingston, leading the fast break. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Here's Freak. Hill trying to break free, and that one's good. Freak's got 15. Warriors leading by 11. Livingston kicks to Green. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Over in the corner, Livingston. The 3 from Barnes. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Kept alive. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Livingston is running. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here. So an entirely new group in now. In for Allen. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Monte Ellis. And Freak subbed in for George Hill. The Warriors also with a sub. Barbosa's checked in. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, the defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. Curry is out there with Barbosa. Team, excellent D there from Hill. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill.
Substitution for the Warriors. Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston.
Here is Livingston. So we see the Warriors taking the game here.
Yes, Kevin, here with
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Andrew Bogut. Tonight we saw all the reasons why he's been an established presence in this league. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed.
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far, Freak, but it's time we make more money. I'm talking movies, TVs, endorsements, even your own brand Jordan sneakers.
I care about the game first, Dom. All that sounds great, but don't you think it's a little too early to be talking about all that?
Too early? LeBron was 12 years old in 6th grade when he was thinking Space Jam. It's never too early to take and make leaps.
I guess.
You guess? This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is the real world. And the real world is fueled by one thing.
Oh, money.
That's right. Money. Dollar bills, y'all. Why do you think they put presidents on them? Because that's what presides over us. I ever tell you guys about the first dollar I ever made?
No, Dom, but you're about to.
Yo, check this out. CC, this is a great story, right? So I'm 7 years old, Queens, New York, 1973. My older brother, Lonzo, he's got a lemonade stand. So that summer, I'm like, Lonzo, you know, let me help out. Let me make a couple of bucks with you. He's like, all right, Dom, come on. I'll teach you the business. So I'm pouring tons of sugar. I'm squeezing the lemons. I got the lemonade stand all set up. I'm like, yo, I got this, right? So I'm watching during the course of the day. I'm noticing something Lonzo's doing. He's not charging for refills. That summer, I convinced Lonzo no more free refills, and we make $2,000 plus tips. Today, Lonzo's Lemonade is a national brand and publicly traded.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
I'm not here to impress. I'm here to improve and to assist. I'm like the Italian-American Magic Johnson, running point for Team Freak. No.
The only person running point around here will be me.
CC, look at my watch. What do you see?
Not this again. I've seen the movie.
This is diamonds and platinum. Gold, forget about it. Silver, forget about it. This is diamonds and platinum. It's power and speed. Freak, this is what you have. You are on your way to being the biggest thing in the NBA. I'm proposing now that we dominate off the court as well as on.
I can't believe I'm saying this, Freak, but Dom has a point. You've been establishing yourself on the court, and now it's time to take it off the court. Brand Jordan sneakers, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Listen, Freak, you're going to have to decide the legacy you want to leave. But I'm not some agent from the Yellow Pages. I'm Dom Pagnotti. I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the king, #1. I'm the best. And I'm a shark. And the Pagnotti shark is working for you. And we got to set new goals and bigger goals, okay? I'm talking all-star game. I'm talking dunk contest. When was the last time you saw an NBA great in a dunk contest, huh? I'm talking first team all-NBA, first team all-defensive team.
what about social media?
Yvette, great idea. Social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let's kick it up a notch. www.freakingandvibing.com. That's right, your own website. I've already set it up for you, and it's running great.
Wait, hold up.
Listen, I'm in negotiations right now on a feature that will allow viewers to watch Freak and only him and his plays during the game.
Yeah, but you set up a website without consulting me?
Yeah.